today is I'd rather have Jesus. And I want to start by asking you, if you could have anything in the world, what would it be?
A deep friend.
I'm sorry?
A very deep friend.
Deep friend, okay. Anybody else? Remember, it doesn't matter what it is. It can be anything.
Good health.
Good health.
Peace.
Peace. Happiness. Anybody else?
Love.
Love. See, you guys have all fooled me already. Because I thought somebody would say, I'd like to have a big house. Because you drive around and you see all these fancy houses like this. I was sure somebody would say, I'd like to have a big house. I thought somebody was going to say, especially the kids, I'd like to have all kinds of pets.
That's me.
Create my own little petting zoo. I was sure the kids would say, I'd like to have all the toys in the world. Although I'm pretty sure most of them already have that.
That's right.
Okay? I was also sure they'd like to have their own Dairy Queen so they could have ice cream all over.
Amen.
Right? So I thought about all these things so that I could tell them, all these things are nice. They're fun. And they have their place. But there's something bigger and better than any of those things. I thought I'd tell them I'd rather have the person who created the world. I'd rather have the person who created all the animals than to have all the animals. I'd rather have the person who created all the flowers. I don't know how many of you are friends with Courtney, but she posted on Facebook a couple of weeks ago that the irises in front of her house are blooming. And she was talking about, she was excited about those because they were from my mom. And, they've bloomed this year like they haven't bloomed in many years. And so it's been a special spring into summer. Get a chance to see that. And that was my mom's way of connecting with God. Okay? And I was going to tell them that I would rather have the person who created all of them, who created all of us. Because all those other things are just that. They're things. They go away. Because how many of us have toys or pets or houses that we lived in from the time we were born? I count myself as lucky. I've only lived in 4 houses in my entire life. But I only lived in the one I was born in for 4 years. They're not stable. They're not lasting. Things drift in and out of our lives. Jesus is constant. His connection with his Father makes him one. And the song, He Holds the Whole World in His Hands, that picture says it all. Just like I told him last week, man has come so far. We can, from a satellite in outer space, we can zoom in and see a building on the ground. We can see people on the ground. But you know what we can't do? we can't see every person on the ground at the same time. You know what else we can't do? We can't know the thoughts that are going on in the minds of every person at the same time. We can't know what's in the heart of every person at the same time. But Jesus can. And He's lasting. For those of us that have known Him throughout our lives, He's been there in good times and bad. For those of us who've met Him recently, He's an exciting new friend. And for those of us who haven't made that decision yet, it's a great opportunity that's just waiting for you. I read in the book for the home groups last week that there's a painting that hangs in a church in Europe. And the church is Jesus knocking at the door, kind of like this one. But he said the one thing you notice is there's no handle on the outside. Jesus doesn't open that door for himself, and he doesn't come in uninvited. He waits for that door to be opened. And the one thing you can count on is when you open that door, it's never closed again. And all of those things on that first slide that I showed you pass away. The relationship that you have with Jesus and through him with God the Father, that lasts forever. So now you understand why I say I'd rather have Jesus.